All right, hello and welcome everybody. We're going to be starting a painting here in a moment, but not this painting. I have a sketch right here that I'm actually going to be painting. This is a portrait of an animal. May he rest in peace that has passed, and we will be doing this portrait in just a moment here. But before we do, let's here's what I want to do. I got to set this canvas up. And, I mix between like different abstract styles, the more personal stuff, as well as stuff that's a bit more commissionable and what have you. But right now, we're working on this piece. So we will go into a little bit of detail. I will share a little bit about the process, though. Let's do this process here. So I took a couple of reference photos, and what we did was I sketched out a bunch of stuff, did a bunch of sketches, quick sketches, and right now what we're doing is we're focusing on, this is the final sketch that we're going to use. And with that, let's go ahead and bring this down. I want to bring it forward a little bit so that's easier to paint on. It becomes easier to paint on that way. And let's see, bring this open. Flatten it up a little bit. Actually, let's see. I can probably straighten this out a bit. We're going to straighten this out. And here we go. So we are coming down like this. We are recording, Cat, just to remind you. And let's go ahead and bring this up right here. Just going to raise that up a little bit. Here we go. Just setting it up right now. And this is what we're going to be working with. So let's see. Bring this down. Drop this down a little bit more so that we can start the work. And as I mentioned, I had already created these designs here. We had already started the sketch. This is a small version of what we're going to do, just a sketch out on paper, a very rough copy. And actually, that reminds me, I want a couple of other references. Let me see what we're going to do here. I need a couple of other references before I get started. I almost forgot to get these. But I wanted to do references as far as going with doing the stylistic reference choices, and that's what I'm working with. And I'm also talking really weird right now because someone else is in the room talking, and I'm trying to I think it's like private stuff, so I don't necessarily want it to be on the audio, but at the same time, let me find some of the design here. Let's get a couple references. We're gonna save that, and then we're gonna go one, and then we're gonna go a couple of other ideas from my artist, stylistically how I want the background to look. And we're gonna go stylistically. What is the background? How do we want this background? Background. It's on a location. And what kind of color do we want? This is our color choice. Let's go with this. All right, and here we go. Just gonna pop up our references as well. so that we have our painting style here. And
does that affect my credit? Okay.
oh, where did my photos go? Come on now.
Okay, that's okay. So
Let's see.
Okay, so I just changed the January payment, but I can't.
One. And then doing another reference here. 1, 2. 2, and then we're gonna go one more reference.
My bank sometimes. Okay, well thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it.
And then we're gonna go 1, and then
Thank you very much. Appreciate your help.
okay, so let's get started here. So gray 59. Just because the mustache down camera angle, I think. Dude, I don't know. I mean, do you, so Gray 59 says, is it racist that you thought I was Bobby Lee for a second? I don't know. Do you feel racist after saying that? Is that why you feel that you have to ask the question? I mean, that's a personal perception thing, I believe. I mean, if you had originally just said that I looked like Bobby Lee, or asked if I was Bobby Lee, I totally would have just been like, oh, that's cool. Like, sure, whatever. But now that you're making it an issue, now I'm kind of questioning. I'm wondering, like, should I feel offended? Should I be upset? Should I try to cancel Mr. Gray 59? I don't know. I don't know how I feel anymore. But furry. Did you see a blue furry? No, you did not. Like a furry? You mean? What do you mean by a furry?
The kitties.
All right. Look, take a photo, please. Where's your phone? Get a photo of them too.
Yes.
All right. So. So here we go. I'm gonna start a sketch of our painting. We're gonna start with just a yellow here. Let's start with our yellow. I'm gonna start with the.
You're hungry?
I'm gonna start with a yellow and a green yellow, and this is how we're gonna start. Oh yeah, where's my sketch? I've already lost my sketch. I've already lost sight of. You know what I need? I need like a nice like clipboard here that I can actually just clip this onto something. How can I clip this? I'm trying to think here. Where would be a good place to clip this? Do you feel bad? You leave me. Have a good day. No disrespect, just love. Okay, cool. Whatever. So, yes. It's all love, right? Let me think. How can I clip this to the painting? Just so I have this initial sketch. I guess I could just leave it on the side here. I don't actually need to hold it up. All right, so we're gonna go like. Let's hold this up so I can figure out how to sketch this. We're gonna go like this. I had this about a third of the way up. Totally glad to share our process here. By the way, I sketch totally, all my sketches are done in paint. I know some people would project, like do a projection. Some artists would want to like do a projection, or they want to like do a straight line type thing. But I pretty much just go with a, let's see, this is about a third of the way up. So if we go up to about a third, we're going to go right here. So let's bring this up a little bit too. Just trying to mark where this needs to go. This is going to be about a third of the way up. One and then third. So 1/3 of the way up. Good to have rule of thirds. But definitely some artists would totally be doing this in a different way. This is not a like how-to video. This is really just how I do things. So I basically want these areas to connect, but there's going to be nothing here. Because we're going to have all sorts of things back here. It's going to be a cat in the foreground. So basically my goal right now is to just capture this design here. So let's go with this tail. And that tail goes a little bit past halfway. Very round tail. And that's okay if the sketch is a little bit off, because at some point all this paint is going to change. So this is good if we go at about the halfway mark as far as the feet go. And then let's go right into here, get into the body. So this is going to be a cat painting. And I think this will be about as long as the tail. We're going to go up and around. I think this hunch needs to go right up about here. And I think the best part, this head should end right about there. So we're going to go up and then get this roundness on the back here. Get the cat right here. The shoulder ends a little bit past this foot right here. So again, I've already done the sketch work. I really just at this point need to get the sketch onto here before I start to figure out the rest of the painting. So do the work already. And again, like if you really wanted to do this the traditional way, what you would do is you might even use like a projector to project the image and then trace the image. And you know what? That's a totally valid way. I personally don't do that. But that's just a personal creative choice. So nothing wrong either way. You know, obviously it depends on the style that you want to achieve. If you want something super tight like Vermeer, you know, the guy who did the girl with the pearl earring, you're definitely going to want something, you know, you're going to want to trace. Or you're going to want to trace what you've already come up with. But if you're looking for something, something a little looser, looking for something like a little bit of a looser style, then obviously you don't need to go and trace, you can just feel free to do your own sketchy style, whatever that is to you. So that is my thought process there. And here we go. Just keeping like a nice loose sketch. Not doing too much as far as this sketch goes. So we're gonna come down with this and then give him a nice big head, a nice big round head here. And then the ear is gonna come down.
Hey, stop.
And I'm using a lot of angles to establish our spaces here. This ear might be a little bit too far out. And here we go. So again, the sketch that I did earlier versus the sketch that we have now, it's going to have some differences. And here we go. This ear might be a little long, but that's okay. We can round that out, and we can go like this. Let's see where his jaw kind of comes around. His jaw comes around like right there. And then, let's see, it's gonna come right around there. Bring that down. And then just a little baby mouth right there. Okay. And here we go. Actually, that's a little bit too far rounded. Need to bring that in a bit more. Maybe make this ear a little bit wider here. And yes, this is a portrait of a cat. So here we go. We're going to come down with some of the striations on his head. And let's go like down like so. And the eyes should basically come in line with the nose here. So we're gonna, oh, this ear, this eye's okay if it comes a little bit around. They want to come right around the same area, leave enough space for the ear. And I don't even remember what I named this live stream, but hopefully it's something inspiring. Is this something like make that art or something? I don't remember exactly. If anybody wants to inform me what I name my own live stream, please let me know. Because I'm curious. Because I do, when I do these live streams, I try to, what I try to do is I have a message, you know, I try to create a positive message around it. And let's go. Try to have like a positive message with many of my live streams. But here we go. Maybe his eyes are a little bit too wide. I don't know. But this is good with the mouth. And let's take this, just keeping it pretty loose. His mouth should be right over his body, which is going to come right here. come down a bit. And then what we're gonna have is gonna, right under his cheek, his paw's gonna come out. Let's see, how did I do this? Ah, here we go. So that's about right. Come up. Give the cat its elbow. Cats have elbows, right? And here we go. I think we could round this around here just a little bit. And what we're gonna do is, of course, this part is gonna come down. And then let's see how we can separate some of the areas to you know, make it look like a cat. You know, cats have like hunched backs. They're very bony, right? Like cats all have very bony structures, unless they're like a totally indoor house cat. But there we go. We got the basic structure of our cat here. Let's see. Maybe we want to go down and then pretty much straight down as far as our wall goes here. And what's interesting is in this image I have the area coming up way further, so that's what we're going to do. We're actually going to build this a little further up, and maybe it just disappears right past the paw. And just getting the basic sketch, of course. Now I have a couple other things. I want to capture the environment that this kitten was in, so I came up with this design here. This is a Hollywood cat through and through. One of Hollywood's most notorious cats. So let's start like right here. What makes it one of Hollywood's most notorious cats? Oh, no, that's not going to work. A little bit. I want it to be right up against this edge here. And let's see, let's do this right here. That's a little bit over, that's like a quarter, right? 1, 2, yeah, it's like a quarter, so a quarter of the way up. Should be right around here. I want to start the second section. And this is going to come through to his chin, to his jaw here. And then right across here, let's see, under his paw, we're going to go
Hi, sweeties.
So just sketching out the environment. I'm not going for an overly detailed environment. As a matter of fact, I'm going to keep a lot of this pretty loose, pretty standard, nothing too unusual. Oh, I can see an issue now. Let's see. So we're gonna go like this, and this is gonna have to go like here. And here, I got a problem. I don't actually know what's going to go right here. Uh-oh. You know what? I could probably just paint yellow in this section. Yeah, that's fine. I'll just paint the yellow square. Ha ha ha. What an evil, sinister laugh I just made, huh? All right, so let's go like this. This is a building. Let's see how I designed this. I'm gonna go. I wanted to make this cat bigger than life, larger than life. So we're gonna go up from here. Let's go sketch. Let's see, I should look at my reference. All right, so this can pretty much just end right here. So we're gonna go up and about the same height as this building, where this building ends. Thinking like right here. Size of this building is gonna go right here. And then, yeah, that's about right. That's accurate. So just using basic rules of perspective on this one right now as I'm starting to pull this together. Just basic rules of perspective. And one thing that I'm doing is that because this is based on photos, but also at the same time, I'm not going to make this totally accurate. It's going to have dimensions to it. So this will probably end like right around here. So we're going to come down. Oh wait, this is going to come up right behind the cat. If we were to draw this through, if I was to draw this through, I think this would meet right around here. Therefore, if we're going to go, this is going to be at an angle. Let me figure out a good intersection point, like right here. I think, oh yeah, the intersection point should be probably about right there. So here and here. So what is my, so the vanishing point is, this is going to be right there. So somewhere in the middle. Going to be where this building is. I think this needs to be a little bit more drastic, this angle here. Can even make this even more drastic. And then that's where it's all going to come around. I haven't necessarily planned out exactly what that's going to look like yet, but here we go. We're going to add a little bit of some extra dimension right here. And finish this wall. We're going to finish this wall. What did I do with this? Oh, this is the one that I want here. Okay, cool. What?
You heard me?
I didn't hear you say anything.
I'm out of here.
You're out?
Cool.
What do you mean you're out? You're not allowed to leave.
I am leaving.
What? You can't leave. I'm painting. You have to be here as I talk and talk and talk about painting. It is unacceptable to leave while I'm painting.
Why did you do that? Is it because you want more food?
All right, actually, this needs to be a bit higher. So we're going to go a little higher with this.
Kathleen. It's 3:37 p.m.
Now let's sketch out the lettering here. We're gonna go wood.
Some food. Come on. Sick again. Go back to the vet for another shot.
And let's see, we're gonna go beechwood or what we're gonna do. We're gonna go do some lettering right now. I'm not a big fan of lettering, but it must be done. Here's what I'm gonna do for lettering. I'm gonna grab a smaller brush. And by the way, this size of a, hey cat,
Yeah.
can you make me a water, please? A mug of water? Yeah, before you leave. Thank you. So we're gonna go,
Being empty.
huh?
Your egg, it's low.
Yeah, I know, I'll fill it up later. But we're gonna go right here. Let's see, how do we want to do this? We can start it a little bit further to the left, right? We can start a little further to the left.
Here.
Thank you. And let's do some lettering. It's going to be a little bit higher on this one. And again, this is one of those things where, you know, if you do this with pencil, that's probably ideal. But I really enjoy doing it with just keeping it loose. And sketching it. Sketching it pretty loosely. This is a personal choice. As far as keeping this, you know, keeping the painterly sketchiness of it. Art. If you can guess already, this is a interpretation of the Hollywood sign. And instead of Holly, we're going to use the name of the cat. What?
You call it Bogart wood or bogey wood?
Have you ever called Bogart Bogey?
Huh?
Oh.
Just ask her.
I asked her. I gave her 5 options. I said Bogart wood, Hollywood. What was the one you recommended?
Oh,
Bogart hood.
yeah. Like Bogart wood.
Yes.
Okay.
I am not a big fan of doing lettering, so me doing this is it's very rare. Bogart wood. Of course, the D is a little off. And there we go. Welcome to the neighborhood.
That's cute.
May have to adjust the letters a little bit. I don't like that it's like that it looks like just like it's straight all the way here. Like all the way just at an angle. So I want to try to resize some of these a little bit to this down just a little bit. Of course, this will all change, and we always need an antenna to represent the antennas of Hollywood. There's always antennas up at the top. Hollywood has always had its antennas. So let's see, where are the antennas exactly? So they're going to be right around here. Hollywood antennas. And we're just going to sketch this down just to fill this space here. And what is Hollywood without any palm trees? You need some palm trees, right? So we're going to have a palm tree. Have one palm tree here. Just to break up some of the space here. Let's get a palm tree there. Sketch it fairly loosely, and actually doesn't even look like a palm tree, but some huge palm trees in LA. Let's get another palm tree out back here. Let's get some trees back here, actually, some shrubbery. These trees don't have to be too specific. And I need something to just fill in. I don't want to do that. Right there. I want to fill in some of the space here, but not too much. I don't want to make it overly palmy. That's not the point. This is a loose palm tree. There's going to be a lot of trees actually, so all right, well, we've got the sketch down. Let's see where this ends up going. Because I am not exactly sure myself. I have so many ideas in my head about how I would like for this to proceed, but sometimes you just go with it. And now for the fun part. Let's begin. So what I should do is lay down some nice color here. Nice bold amount of color. We're gonna go with a cad yellow light here. Actually, do I really want to start with yellow? I think yellow is a good color. Yeah, we'll do a yellow. Should I do yellow or red? Let's go with yellow. And this is just the beginning. We're just gonna use some of this color to establish some area, some regions of color. So I want it to be this layer of paint to be very thin. I am using a thinning agent. Thinning agent meaning something to make the paint very thin. And what that means is that the paint is going to be much easier to spread, less thick, right? Doesn't that make sense? Thin means less thick. So yes, we're going to be doing a thin layer paint. And as of right now, I'm not going for ultra detail. I'm probably just going to keep this palette pretty standard. And I'm not going to like paint in all the details of what we're seeing. But I do want to establish some like a base color for all of these different areas. We're going for a flatter painting as opposed to like a super detailed, multi-dimensional shadows and everything type of painting. We're going for something a little bit flatter that just has these colors in it. Painting down the sides right now. Usually you would use this as an underpainting. Underpainting meaning that you're like using this to establish like a lot of detail, and then you just paint over it. And in a sense, this is an underpainting, but it's also like not in the same way that a traditional oil painting artist might do it. So a traditional oil painting artist might like use this and then erase away, just cover this whole canvas and then erase away some different areas, but that's not what I'm going to do. Basically just going to use these colors to establish our flatter zones or our shapes. Needs a bit more mineral spirit here. And this just, as you could tell, like, if you don't use the mineral spirits, the paint becomes much less spreadable. So you might actually have like difficulty doing just this because, you know, you're going to have a very small area to work with as far as the paint goes, a very small area of which the paint can reach. But once you start to add some mineral spirits, like, the paint just becomes so easy to work with, so much easier to work with. And that's really all it's for. So let's go like this. We want to keep its shape. I still haven't decided what the final colors will be, because there might be a mix of red or greens into this, or even blues. But for now, I'm just trying to establish like a feel for this. I'm going for a very something a bit flatter. This is coming down here. Nope, that needs to come up a bit further. And here we go. Add some more mineral spirits. Here we go. And let's go. And this is definitely going to take multiple, at least a couple of days before we really reach a point where it starts to finalize as far as its looks goes. And let's go grab this yellow. And now we're going to go down the sides with it. Let's see. Have another painting that I'm also working on. But it's nice. I like having multiple projects at a time that I'm working on because it helps me to like chill out depending on how I'm feeling, and I could just change if I like. And what we're gonna do on this bottom part, let's clean off this brush. Actually, you know what? Let's go with a yellow tinted blue. Use a nice flat color here. And we're gonna go just across here. It's gonna come like right down. So this is okay if we have it like right here. And here we go as we just continue to build this up. Again, this color that we're using right now, these colors that we're using right now in general are really just to set the stage for later. And what's going to happen is as it starts to dry, we're going to have, you know, these little details that, these subtle details that come through the painting. Get a lot of paint boogers right now. Paint boogers are basically like remnants of like dry paint. Now, if you're like classically trained, or if you're trying to like do a know-how of like the classical way of doing this, you pretty much use like just one color for the whole thing. Because I think what the theory is of using one color, I mean, obviously, you know, time-wise, you know, it's easier, and it's also like a unifying thing. Like the whole painting will have this like unifying underlying color, and that can be really nice. But that's just not, you know, that's not what I want to do. And this first layer is really thin. I've used a lot of mineral spirits, which means this first layer is definitely needs more paint on top because of the mineral spirits. It can affect the painting later on. So we're going to grab some more of this color here. And we're just going to paint this right into here. Let's grab some more of that. And really, one of the only reasons why I'm like painting these colors ahead of time is I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to keep this really flat and just use whether I'm going to like keep this very flat or whether I'm actually going to decorate this up. I don't know yet. I haven't decided whether this is going to be highly decorated or more plain. As far as the painting goes. And let's see. I'm gonna clean this brush off. Getting too big for that thing, huh? Got these two kittens. Marianne Sorensen, what's up? Did I and Omizu get finished? I didn't finish what I started with Omizu. That piece is still in the works. I might work on it later today, but something came up. So I was hired to do this piece. Found a customer that wanted me to do a pet portrait. So I am doing a pet portrait right now for someone whose friend has died. Or not friend, I mean, I guess it is a friend, but someone whose cat has passed. So that's what we're doing right now. That's what we're working with. The cat has sadly passed away. Let's go right here. Yeah, how are you, Marianne? What's going on with you? So we're going to grab this ochre right here, yellow ochre. Actually, I want to lighten it up with some yellow. And that's what I'm going to paint into here. And maybe I need some more trees, actually. I probably need some more trees. Let me grab a couple more trees here. There's a grouping of trees. Gonna do a grouping of trees like that, and you're fine. All right, cool. So you getting into anything creative lately, Marianne? What's going on? Tell us about your day. What did you do this afternoon? How's the quitting smoking? If you're comfortable sharing, how was that? I know that that's something that you pretty much have to do right now, but you know, it's never easy, right? If it was easy, everybody would do it, and we wouldn't have, you know, people wouldn't have problems, but it's not easy. And sometimes, you know, it's good to have like a support system, but it's not always easy to find a support system, right? So how's that going? And here we go. So come around and bring this paint section around. And this is just starting. One great thing about oil paints that I often say is, like, you know, with oil paints, you can work and rework things indefinitely. So, you know, here what we're doing is we're laying down these paints, but ultimately what's going to happen is we're going to paint on top of it. It's going to be less flat. A lefty painter. So actually, fun fact, I think this video flips me around. So actually, I'm a righty painter, but I can see why it would be confusing if you're just watching from on the video. But yeah, I'm actually a righty. I sometimes use my left hand just to, like, you know, work a different part of my brain. But, and I do believe that. I do believe that that it helps creatively to work different parts of your brain by using swapping your hands out. I do believe that is true. I do believe. So So yeah, this is what we're doing. Laying down this initial foundation of color here. Not getting too in depth with detail or anything. Just keeping it nice and loose. And also, actually, what am I saying? This isn't loose at all. I don't know why I said that, but when I say keep it nice and loose, what I really meant was that I'm not like spending too much time to be very detailed with my areas yet. It's not that time. It is not that time yet. There will come a time when it's right to start adding a lot of detail, but that time is not now. There will come a time that is not right now. But hello, Ross. What's going on, Mr. Ross Smirnoff? To notice something such as which hand someone paints with, you must have an interest. You know, feel free to those of you watching, if you have an Instagram or YouTube channel or a website that you want to promote, feel free to hop in and promote it. This is totally an open channel for artists or, you know, just business people. I am totally open to commercial ideas. Commercial ideas. If you want to jump in, talk about your art, if you want to promote your own channel, you are totally welcome to. So the general rule for this like first layer is usually something along the lines of like using the same color, but I'm not using the same color simply because I prefer to keep it a bit looser, or to create different areas of color. And I haven't decided whether I'm going to make this flat or not. And what I mean by flat is, you know, rather than going into the deep, getting super brushy, using a lot of brushwork, or whether I'm going to just use flat areas of color, pretty much like this, except, you know, with a denser amount of oil paint. I haven't decided that yet. So actually, let's clean off. Let's see, we've got this area, we've got these areas. Let me get into here, grab some yellow. And you know what? I'm gonna go into these with a smaller brush here. Let me use. Here's a brush that needs some retiring. I'll use a smaller brush for this area. Let's grab this, grab our yellow and our ochre here. Yellow, bring it into our ochre. And this brush is going to help us do a better job of this tighter space. And basically within the major areas, I'm trying to create like a unifying color is basically the goal with what I'm doing right now. Some unified color areas. And here we go around the O's here. The O's come around. Oh, here we go. Another little spot that we got to bring down. We can start to see how this is going to come together, right? We're all seeing how this is all coming together. Oh, what is this? Get those off. Get off paint boogers. Okay. Now, I don't think am I still going to need this color? I think, you know what? I can still use this color. I could still use this color a little bit. I'm going to go with... I don't want too expansive of a color palette. I want to keep this... I don't want to expand my color palette too much. I do that quite a lot, is I'll like have such an open palette that I just have like this abundance, this overabundance of color if I open my palette too much. And I just want to play with having a flatter color. But let's see what happens here if I go like this. So we're going to go down here. We're going to go grab some more yellow. got a little bit of too much paint there, but that's okay. And let's see here. I'm gonna grab some more of this color. This color. And I want to paint this up here, because this is supposed to be a bit more rounded. Round this out and round this area out. And let's go ahead and we're gonna go with a let's go with yellow. Let's continue on with this like yellow color. I need to smooth this area out a bit. It's gotten a little bit too thick with paint, which is fine sometimes, but I'm usually fine with that. You can smell the turpentine. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. The turpentine. Turpentine. How'd you know these were oils? Got an eye. You have an eye, sir. An eye. I have an eye too. I have two eyes. You must have two as well. And let's continue on with this color. Let's go. Need to add some more mineral spirits. Mineral spirits. Mr. Ross Smirnoff has an eye. Here we go. That's a general look. And then now I want to match this like this pastel green color, which I think I need some white right now. And get some white. So far, I've not used white in my painting, which is pretty good. But it is about that time. I have to pull out some of the white. The reason why I pulled it out is because I want to find this little color here. This yellowish, really pastel. This pastel version of this color here. Super light pastel version. And that's what we're going to use to fill in this space. Grab some more of this color. And continuing on, let's go. We're going to use this green to unify this section and the rest of this platform thing. And again, that's the main purpose of these colors, is really just to create the initial base layer, and this base layer is going to help us identify and do the rest of this painting, because it really helps to know exactly, like, hey, these are the colors I'm going to be using right here. And so I got this blue. Let's add some of this yellow. Grab some more of this white. Bring in some of this mineral spirit. And here we go. Just bring this down. And if you're wondering how this painting will end up looking nice, the secret is to just trust the process. To know that as long as you live, you have the opportunity to paint over. And trusting the process, as in trusting that so long as you're able to understand just even a little bit of how oil paint works, which is basically it's oil, it's pigment, and it dries, and that you can paint on top of it, and sometimes it's transparent so that you can allow the undercolors to really shine through. You know, so long as you know that, you're pretty much solid. You know, you can always work and rework an area. Now obviously you don't want to, you know, spend forever working a painting simply because, you know, you think you could do it forever. That's not the purpose of what I'm saying, but just knowing that in confidence, if for whatever reason you're not feeling good about your painting or whatever, you can just continue to work it and work it and work it. Now the best artists know exactly where to put down colors, exactly what colors, exactly where they're placing them. I mean, I guess saying that they're the best artists is a, you know, probably isn't the best term to use, but you get the idea. You know, the most technically skilled artists know exactly what they're going to do, where they're going to put the colors, how to mix them, what colors to use. And I'm going to turn this upside down because I want to paint the borders. I want to paint the borders here. It's also nice to, like, you know, flip it around. And let's grab some of this darker shade, go right into here. And here we go. So it's gonna go green across the bottom. Go green. And we are making progress. So again, the main areas of color, I'm gonna flip this back around. I'm not going to paint the top yet, but eventually I will. Let's go bring this down just to try to hold it in place. And let's go. We need to go yellow. And I'm going to go into here and we're going to create a blue area. This almost works like watercolor at this point because I have a lot of there's a lot of mineral spirits. Mineral spirits make artwork. And here we go, bringing in these like darker blues. So these are definitely not the final colors that are going to be on this painting. What's going to happen is these colors should pretty much dry within the next day or two. It'll probably still be wet tomorrow when I work on it. But ultimately, you know, just establishing areas of color, and rather than trying to spend too much time on shadow, I'm really focused on capturing a certain look and design of this. Excuse me. But yes, I will not be finishing all of this in one night. There will be some time spent waiting for this to dry. And here's something interesting. So let's go like this. Clean off this brush. And we're actually going to go yellow into here. We'll grab this yellow. And just go across here. So this is an ancient technique that I'm using. Ancient technique meaning it goes back since the beginning of the invention of oil painting. This technique has been used for centuries, basically underpainting. Now, basically all an underpainting is, without getting too technical, is this initial layer of paint that you put on, and it helps to create a foundation of color so that when you do paint, and there are ways that you don't need this. You can totally skip this part. The only reason that, well, there's a lot of reasons to do it, but the main reason to do it is that it really helps you to unify certain areas, to help you establish color. And once you got the colors down, it becomes easier to like visualize the spaces that you're working with. So tons of benefits to doing this. But at the end of the day, if I wanted to do this a different way, the way I would do it is basically just I would basically just paint with like really thick paint. I would use very thick amounts of paint, a lot of paint on my brush, and I would just lay it down. That's more like how the Impressionists did it. If I was to just go all out and just start throwing paint onto this, throwing paint in a very, very thick manner, very loose manner, that's how the Impressionists probably would have done it. But that's not what I'm going for right now. I'm going for something a little different than I usually do. Which is going for something with a little bit more design as opposed to brushwork. So I'm currently more focused on design rather than brushwork. And let's see, you know, since I'm doing this already, what I could probably do is I could just paint this little section right now. I actually have a tough time with signs. But since I'm going to let this dry for a while anyway,
Cuteness. Hi.
since I'm going to let this dry anyway, I'm going to have plenty of time to let this section dry and do a painting over it.
Oh, that looks just like him. Bogart would. That is so cute.
Yes. And let's see, where do we go from here? How do I want to unify the sky is the question I'm asking myself. I mean, I want to unify all these other trees and everything. Trying to figure that out. Let's see. How do I want to unify the trees? Let's do the sky first. Get rid of this color. Actually, this color. Clean off this brush. And this is great because I have this wonderful color here that we're going to use for the sky. It's nice and loose and wet right now. I want it to be a little bit bluer. Add some more white. Bring in a bit more yellow. Color. Okay, let's see. So this is not our sky color. This is just the starter color for our sky. Now, if I was painting this live and outdoors, I would totally just like use all sorts of different colors, keep my palette really open, and just start laying down colors as I see them. But this is going to take more than a few hours. This is not a plein air painting. You know, in some cases, if I had to, I could finish this painting much quicker. But because I'm doing this in a different way, more of like a classic style where you build up the painting layer by layer, it's going to require different techniques.
Yeah.
And all this really is just building one layer. Our very first layer of color helps us determine and like unify the space and give us an idea of how things will come together in the long run. And if you look at my other paintings, I don't usually paint like this. My other paintings are usually much more very abstract, very different. Even this piece is not going to be, you know, totally.
Hey, can I ask you something?
What?
Could you bring Simba to the vet tomorrow? You don't have any appointments after 3:30. Any day.
Tomorrow at 3.
What time tomorrow? You hear that?
What 11:30 or Wednesday morning?
11:40 or Wednesday morning.
How early on Wednesday?
How early Wednesday? Do you hear that?
7 a.m.
No, 10 a.m.
Oh, that's I should know. Wednesday. All right, Wednesday. What's the latest?
What's the latest on Wednesday? 2:40.
She's drinking my water.
Yes.
How about which day? Wednesday or tomorrow at 2:40?
Yeah, Wednesday at 2:40.
Okay, Wednesday at 2:40.
Okay, let's do Wednesday. Thank you so much.
And here we go, building up these colors. Cookie, don't drink my water. It's for me. We have a cat named Pookie, in case anybody is wondering. grab some more of this color, grab our white, bring it down into the space again. And I have this little mini tube. This is a great tool. Basically, I use it to pull up some mineral spirits, which I could just drop onto my palette, here, and it helps me to loosen up the paint for these early phases. And actually, I don't have one for my oil. I use a different thing for oil, but I'm sure it works just as well. I find having a dropper super handy in general for just all sorts of reasons. You can lay down more specifically where you want things to go, to end up. As far as your mineral spirit goes, your thinner, your thinning agent, aka mineral spirit, turpentine. Now, a lot of people have moved past turpentine because, you know, the fumes can be a bit much for people. But I use mineral spirits. I've actually never used turpentine, so I don't know what that's like. I've heard of some people actually liking the smell of turpentine. Kat, do you know what turpentine smells like? You think so? Huh? Turpentine? Is it turpentine or turpentine? And the way I actually think this works, by the way, people, so oil, something with the oil, there's like a chemical process that causes the oil to dry. But I think with mineral spirits, when you're doing this, I think the mineral spirits actually evaporates. Alexa, what's the name of the process by which oil paint dries?
From Wikipedia.org. Oil paint dries by oxidation, not evaporation, and is usually dry to the touch within 2 weeks. Some colors...
Alexa, repeat what you just said.
By the way, you have 2 new notifications. Do you want to hear them?
Alexa, repeat.
By the way...
Alexa, repeat last question.
By the way, you have...
Alexa, off. Alexa, what is the name of the way that oil paint... Alexa, what is the term by which oil paint dries?
Here's something I found on Wikipedia.org. Oil paint dries by oxidation, not evaporation, and is usually dry to the touch.
Alexa, off. All right, so oxidation, but I believe that with the mineral spirits actually evaporates. And that's how the oil paint dries. But I could be wrong. I just know that if you just lay down pure oil on here, it's going to oxidize, and that's how it's going to dry. But if you use mineral spirits, that helps to speed up the process. And it creates a different look. So, here we go. Let's go with how do we want to make these trees? These trees are going to be an ochre. Bring in our white, like a light white ochre color. Let's actually bring that into here.
Simba, you want to eat?
He's like, yes, feed me.
Oh, you're sick again before you're taking me to the vet. Fortunately,
Hey, can you, you might have to remind me.
Yeah, I will. Yes, I will. It's in my calendar.
Yes. Okay, good, but doesn't mean I'm gonna remember.
I still have to look at the calendar and remind myself.
And here's another tree. We're gonna go down with this tree.
I'm gonna give the cats the
And-
Benzina or whatever it is.
Okay, fine. Do it.
I need the pan.
Just do it. No one's stopping you. Nobody is telling you no, Kathleen.
Oh, jawbone. You probably want that, right?
No, feed it to him.
All of it?
All of it. So I got this green. I want it to be a little bit more blue. For the tree branches. Just have a bit more of a blue color. I guess I should show what I'm doing better. Or how I'm mixing these colors. Let me see if I can pull this back a little bit. It's probably too late now. But let's go. Who wants to see my palette? There we go. There's my palette. So my palette is a very messy palette. The ultra awesome artist would pretty much like have a very organized palette of like a circle of colors and a super clean palette. So it would look a little bit different than this. Actually quite different. And I'm just going to use this color for our trees here.
Hi, how are you? Yes, I do. Can I do it for the 6 months, or it has to be a little bit? Okay, now.
So I'm not going to do too much painting into this. I just want to initiate some of the colors, but not too much.
Yes.
And here we go. And here we go. And then here we go. So and then let's go with this other section up here. We're gonna go. And I want to keep this a bit loose as far as how it looks. I'm not gonna do it like a flat color because it's a palm tree, and palm trees are very unique in their design. So I don't necessarily want to like over make this tight so that later I have the opportunity to expand around it. And here we go. So we got the Bogart wood. I think what I can do is I can actually paint into that at some point. But actually, let's go into here. Let's go around the cat's head here. And we're going to go around the cat's head. And let's go like this. And we're just going to... There's these two trees here. So we're going to do 2 layers of trees. I want to see what types of different trees, though. These are going to be rounded trees. And these I'm actually going to make flat. Gotta flatten them. And here's a fun rule. Here's a fun trick. Actually, you know what? It's not a rule. It's more of a trick. Here's a fun trick you can do. I don't know the name of it, but basically what it means is that the objects that are further back tend to be a whiter tone because of like the way the sun reflects on things. So if you put darker things in the front and as you push things back, make it brighter, there's a, I mean, that's just how light works. Like if you ever look at a mountain range from up close, you're gonna see that the closest mountains to you have like this really dark, lush green, and then as it gets further back, there's gonna be like this cloudy haze around there. And that's the science that I'm trying to describe right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna use this really dark area, green, and just like lighten the next section a little bit. We're not gonna, well, I guess I don't even need to lighten. I just gotta change the color to a more of a yellow. And just a subtle change in tone should be enough to give it some separation. Let's add some more white here. Oh yeah, just a tiny bit different. Let me see. I need add some mineral spirits, add a bit more white. And let's just use this yellow here. I'm just going to paint it on here directly. And here's an opportunity to adjust this cat's face. And I really like this part of a painting when it's like so flat. Because this is like a point of a painting where you can really start to see things come together and like how you're gonna like transform it later on. And you know, so many decisions come after this, but like once you have this part, like you start to feel, oh hey, I've got something going on. It actually like looks okay now. You know, it doesn't look like poo-poo. Once all these colors have come together. And let's round this out. Bring this down. Give his jaw a little bit more structure. Got that cute little kitty mouth. And we could probably bring this in just a bit further underneath the mouth here. So this is a very special cat. I was hired to do this, and this cat is an iconic cat in Hollywood, an iconic cat on an iconic street in Hollywood, California. Yes, the Hollywood, California. And so it's known in a very certain neighborhood. Here we go, some music for your entertainment. You know what? I'm in a mood to put on some dramatic painting music. But I can't play it because YouTube does not allow for music to be played. So, Kat, if you need me, I've got headphones on. All right?
I'm putting them on too.
Huh?
I'm putting headphones on too.
All right, then if you need me, come wave your hands around in front of me like a crazy person. Okay?
Yep.
I wonder what kind of music Jackson Pollock listened to. I'm gonna put on some music. Let's do. Actually, you know what? Before I forget, let me do a photo of this. All right. Someone should just do a radio station on Spotify based on music they think Jackson Pollock would have listened to. If they don't have it already, they must have it. All right, there's a Jackson Pollock playlist. A lot of jazz. A lot of Miles Davis, Duke Ellington. I wonder, there's no description of this playlist. But let's just go for it. And you know what I can do right now? I can actually use our super light yellow here. I should go grab our yellow again. This yellow comes in very handy. And let me try to find a good spot for this. Let's go. We're gonna grab. Can't hear you. I mean, I could hear you, but I can't hear you. I know that you're saying something, but I don't know what you're saying. All right, here we go. Got a nice thin amount of paint on my brush here. And actually, I want to paint in these little towers here. Let's grab this color again. Let's get straight into this. And we're still gonna paint over these letters at some point. But right now, just establishing a layer of color. And then when it's time, all I'm really going to do with these letters is just paint an area around it that's a little bit darker. Let's see, I think we're about reaching the finale of this first layer. All right, and let's move into the body of our figure here. And still want to keep this fairly loose as far as our coloring goes. But I want to start with some light blue, some super light blue stripes. And I'm just using this as like a base layer so that when I do go over it, there's going to be like another, I want this blue to reflect. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Let's use a bit of this color for some of the whiter areas of its fur, of his fur. So we're gonna go like down under here. And here we go. Gotta whiten this up. Ooh. Add a little bit more white to this. Add some more mineral spirits. You don't want to use mineral spirits for the main part of your painting, but definitely early on. You know, it's really important to. You don't really want a layer that's too overly. Well, I mean, in general, the rule is thick over thin, or lean over fat, or fat over lean, which is basically this idea that you're going to use more, you're going to have more of an oil on your, more of a consistency of oil in your painting later on. As you build on top, but the mineral spirits is really good for just getting the paint, getting things moving along, getting like these base areas of color, so that you know you can start to build your piece. And here we go. Gonna continue on with this color. Go down into this area. Honestly, in my opinion, the hardest part of any painting like this is really the planning. I think once you've done the planning, once I've sketched this out, all it is it becomes like your own little coloring book, your own little paint by numbers book. Because you already know where everything's going to go. All it is sketching it out, establishing your main colors, and then from there, you know, it just becomes easy peasy. Just easy peasy. And here we go. I'm just sketching out some of the parts of his fur that make him a unique cat. And what do we want to do? We're going to go with... Let's go with a dark blue here. We're going to grab our dark blue. And we'll start laying that down as the main foundation for the black. For the black regions of his tail. Nice little round tail here. So this isn't like an abstract cat where I'm gonna paint him all these unusual colors. I'm basically just setting a tone for his coloring that once I start to paint over it with the actual colors, it's gonna have a certain look and appearance. let's go like this. And all I'm doing at this point is just trying to match his markings. That's it. Just looking to match a lot of his markings. I'm not trying, I'm actually just doing that. That's what I'm doing right now. Matching the markings. Which, fortunately, this cat, it's a Bengal, so it's got a lot of unique markings. But luckily, I don't need to, it's not that hard. It's not like a cheetah that has all these spots and everything. This specific cat has some very specific markings, so it makes it a bit easier. This cat has sadly passed away. And let's see now, we can go. And I'm just using this dark blue because I don't necessarily want to use black yet. At some point, I will eventually go into all of this and then, really tighten up some of the darker colors and everything. But for now, just want to build some of the forms here. And I would say that these are probably the main markings that I really have to work on. Excuse me, thank you.
Every black boy needs a little love. Here's a little what's up. You're a little love.
Keep this really loose. Don Drill, you like this? Smaller brushes. Oh man, well hey, thanks for, I don't know when you said that. I haven't looked at the window in a while, but yeah, hey, thank you for sharing some of your thoughts and how you feel. Yeah, small brushes are fun. I mean, you know, I'm using it right now just, you know, for this specific detail. And again, like, this is a totally different than I usually paint. Yeah, totally different than the way I usually paint. So I'm doing this as a portrait for someone whose cat has died, has passed. May he rest in peace. And they were an iconic pet. This director that I'm friends with has a cat who's like an iconic cat on this famous street in Hollywood. It's a neighborhood cat, and basically they have passed. So I was hired to do this project here, and as of right now, the main thing that I'm working on is to just capture some of his markings. I'm using this blue. Just capture some of his beautiful markings. Yeah, I hope you're doing great, Dondrell. So what does it say? Instead of Hollywood, it says Bogart Wood. That's the name of the cat, Bogart Wood. So that was the name of the cat here. Funny name, I believe, named after Humphrey Bogart. This director was a big fan of Hollywood's greatest. Of course, I got to get this little thing right there. And now, let me figure out how I'm going to do the rest of this kitten. Actually, you know what? I could still use this blue a little bit further for the top of the head here. This ear is probably a little bit too big. I can still modify the size of this ear. But let's go. And right now, I am listening to Jackson Pollock, the Jackson Pollock station on Spotify. So somebody made a playlist that supposedly is going to represent what Jackson Pollock listened to, which I can't verify. I could probably verify later, but I'm not going to verify right now. And it seems like Jackson Pollock listened to a lot of jazz. So I've got a lot of jazz playing right now. Excuse me. I'll work on this eye later. But let's get this part of the nose down right here. And I know Don Drell made some art today. So now that's the cat's meow. Yes, this is the cat's meow. Copic markers. So as far as Copic goes, the only thing that I use that's Copic is their multi-liners. So these are great, like drawing pens. They're refillable, but it ends up being really expensive to refill, because not only do you got to get the refill, but there's like so many different sizes of Copics, and there's 3 different sizes of refills. And then there's all the different sizes of the tips that you're going to want to change out at some point. So, I don't know. I mean, these are really high quality. I love the ink. I mean, I think it ultimately comes down to the ink that you like to use, but I really like Copic. I use them for multi-liners, but I haven't used their markers. I don't really use markers I don't actually use markers. But what I do love using, though, I really like brush pens. I typically use brush pens. I don't know what brand this is. I can't remember. I wish these had their brand names. Oh, yeah, Pentel. So these are usually Pentel brush pens. That's what I usually use as far as brushes go, or brush pens. I just never got into markers. And actually, I have one set of markers, and that one set of markers is actually a Crayola. I have these Crayola black markers, and I only got the color black in this marker set because I tried to audition for it's not an audition, it was a tryout, I guess you would call it. A tryout to apply for this caricature job, which I did not get. But hey, I'm not too upset about it. It's probably for the best. Personally, I felt like my caricatures were very unique. But yeah, you like that brush pen as well, the cat face plus eyes. Thanks so much, man. Thanks so much, Nandro. Appreciate you. So yes, that's what we're working on. Just building up the details on our cat here. Building up some of the details. And eventually, I haven't finished the project that I started with Omizu yesterday, but I think at some point tonight, I don't know, depends on how far I get with this. We'll see. We shall see. Very intense. Nose has to be black. Yes or no? So the nose doesn't have to be black. I have a lot of day jobs. But because we are on social media, YouTube, and this is my artistic life, I separate my artistic life from my non-artistic life. Therefore, I do not discuss my day job. But I used to work in sales. That's all I'll say. In my non-artistic life, I usually work in sales. But I won't go into further discussion about it. But yeah, the nose is going to be pink. This cat actually has a pink nose. All right, so let's figure out our next mode of attack here. So my passion is painting, which is really what I want for a job. Let's just say I have a passion for painting. Whether it's a job or not. I don't necessarily need painting as a job, but I need painting. And here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go in with a different color now. And it's going to be a super light yellow green. Let's see, what color should I use right now? A very lightened ochre. Yeah, here we go. That's actually a good color right here. Let me bring this white in. try to use this for some of the body colors here.
Okay. Wanna play with this? Go ahead.
We don't talk about our non-artistic lives on this channel, people. This is an art channel. It's important to separate your artistic life and your non-artistic life. Just kidding. That's not a rule. I totally just made that up just now. So, I'm an actor as well, by the way. And I can actually talk about that because that's also my artistic life.
Alexa, set timer for 1 hour.
1 hour, starting now.
Okay, alright. Alexa, it's fun for you to have passion like paints that pays for itself and has opened so many doors. Yes. Kat, I can't hear you if you're trying to talk to me, just reminding you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, good.
I'm not trying to talk to you.
Alright, here we go. The first rule about Fight Club is we do not talk about Fight Club. The first rule about our creative life is we do not talk about our non-artistic life. Totally kidding. But anyone is free to talk about anything. But that's something I actually learned from acting. To differentiate between your creative life, your artistic life, and your non-artistic life, which, you know, everybody pretty much has, right? We've all got
a shot of whiskey.
We've all got a creative life. We've all got a non-artistic life. I mean, even people who are professionally working at an incredibly high level have a non-artistic life that, you know, they often need to separate, right? So do I paint full time? In my artistic life, yes. Could say, you might even say that that's kind of like a weird split personality type of thing, huh? Does it seem like I have a split personality if I kind of discuss these two separate lives of mine? I really like how this painting's turning out. Whiskey for everybody. You find difficulty balancing the life and the work. Yeah, what I do is sometimes, I mean, I realize I need to just switch off my switch, literally develop a whole different, not personality, but like a whole different perspective. When I switch on my artistic life, which is quite often, I'm totally in the artistic life, not the non-artistic one.
That's fun. Give me the paper. I don't want you eating paper.
And you know what? Sometimes it's not easy to do so. It's not always easy to switch lives, right? And it almost sounds crazy, but Yeah, I mean, I think though in Dondrell, in Los Angeles, since you're out here, I definitely think that keeping and maintaining friends is difficult in general. And I don't think that the situation that you're talking about for you is actually like unusual in Los Angeles. Like just in the past like 3 years alone, between Kathleen and I, like so many of our friends and family have moved out of Los Angeles. It's just one of those cities. It's just one of those cities. It is a city of constant and never-ending change. And that's just, that's the life we chose, right? That's the life we choose living in Los Angeles. Now, obviously, I guess there are some people who are really good at like maintaining friends and all that. But I think at some level, the truth is it's not always that easy. But it's good to talk about it, I mean, I have had friends who are like, yo, all their friends have moved, their main friends, their other groups of friends. And it's you're not alone, Painting in public definitely helps make friends, I think. But Don Drill, he does a lot of great work, and great work in public on Venice, out of all places in the world, one of the most high demand locations on the entire planet, as far as like beaches are concerned. And Don Drill, man, it is inspiring to me that you make it out there every day, or multiple times a week, or whatever your routine, and you somehow find a way to make your artwork, man. That is incredibly inspiring. Totally. If anybody is looking for some channels to follow or channels to watch, I mean, Don Drell should be on your top list of choices, because it's just great to be able to see somebody, you know, make it out to a beach on a daily basis, paint in public, put themselves out there. And just keep at the game. It's amazing. I love it. I love seeing that because it is totally inspiring to me. It's motivating. What's going on up here? I almost want to like just leave this like flat color. I almost want to leave this flat color. I like it. But let me go with some. Let me blue this, white this out a little bit. Some of these colors here. Ooh, I love this song. It's a beautiful song. What song is this? Ooh, La Bonne Étoile. Wow. How do I heart this song? Le Bon Étoile. Le Bon Étoile by Ibrahim Malouf. Ibrahim Malouf is the guy's name. Great song. A lot of, I mean, it depends, Michael. I paint both for sale and for myself. I paint for all sorts of reasons. I paint so that I can, you know, get hired, such as for a painting like this, and be able to do work like this. But also, you know, I paint for myself, but also at the same time, I mean, I paint to display in galleries, and you know, one day have people purchase my other works too. The works that I paint for myself are also for galleries and stuff. Yeah. And here we go. Yeah, I do sell prints. This is a one-off piece of a very specific cat, though. So I don't know if this is necessarily. I don't know. We'll see. I might offer this as prints and stuff. But you know, this is a piece that was hired for someone very specific. So it's a little different. You know, if I was to just paint this on my own, I would totally, you know, offer it for sale. But because this is a, you know, what word am I looking for? Because this is a commission, I think. I think once I'm done with Pookie, stop. Pook. I think once I'm done with this filling the area of the cat, I'm gonna call this a night. Gotta knock this out. Actually, you know what? I might work on the other painting that Omizu and I both started doing for as a art for trade.
Alexa, how much time is left on the timer?
You have 42 minutes left on your 1 hour timer.
Pookie, stop. Stop messing with my stuff. Pookie. Stop it, Pookie.
Okay, come here. Come in the bedroom with me. Okay. Come with me. Don't you try to push my face away.
Mm-hmm.
Look. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, it looks so good. It's Bogart. You never met him.
Mm-hmm. He's a beautiful cat.
Oh, fur. So comfortable.
$10-4, good night. Maybe, we'll see. I don't know yet. Like, I do find some value in, like, pacing myself, but also at the same time, but also at the same time, when I do have the time to paint, so I do have to get back to my non-artistic life tomorrow, which means I don't know when I'm going to be able to pop back into my artistic life. or how often or frequently. So when I have that opportunity, you know, I try to take advantage of this time that I have, this time that I'm given to paint as much as I can. So what happens, what I end up doing is I tend to binge paint a lot, which, you know, has its perks. Binge painting meaning, you know, I do more painting, and I'll paint for like an absurd amount of hours at a time. Or maybe it's not so absurd, I don't know. But yeah, I'll paint for hours upon hours upon hours when I can find that opportunity. Da, 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 da. I'm almost tempted to like just kind of leave this painting like with this unfinished look. It's very, I like the feel of it. It's like, it's finished, but it's also unusual in its own way. But also at the same time, because it is for somebody, you know, that's the one thing about commissions is you have to paint in a certain way that, you know, the other person will want. And, you know, you gotta unless there's clearly communicated that you could go totally abstract with it, which that was not communicated with this. And I didn't want to go totally abstract with it. Excuse me. Well, let's go into these eyes with a this undercolor of green. You know what? Now's probably a good time to add little hints of red. Little pops of red here. It's a little too pink or too bright red. I want to tone it down a bit. So let me mix in some of this white here. And some of this red can actually go into the fur here. I'm gonna paint into here a little bit, right around the ears. Just give a little bit of a pink color inside the ear, create some separation. And let's see, up in this area. Yeah, I like how this, actually like how this looks right now. Here's some things I need to do. I want to tighten some of the areas around here. So let me see if I can find this yellow. I had this like yellow gold here, where I'm gonna make the ear a little bit smaller. And that's okay. See if I can actually bring in some more detail into here. Actually, the paint's still so wet. Probably a bad idea. I'm doing it anyway, just because I have paint on here, but... yeah, I shouldn't keep messing around with this. I want to fill in the space here. I'm going to use this brush just to fill in some of the space. I don't want too much white space when I eventually do go into this. And especially when working with fur, in my opinion, you know, it's okay if it's a little bit like brushy. I know there's a lot of artists, like really talented fur artists, who like just paint amazing fur, and they're so incredibly patient. They'll draw like every inch of fur there is. That absolutely blows my mind. I do not do that. I mean, they must have like assistants. When I watch some of those videos, they gotta have assistants that like do the fur. I just cannot imagine why anyone would want to see every little detail of fur. So we're gonna go boom, boom, white. So I'm gonna blur some of these markings a little bit and like mold it into like the side ground so that when I do eventually tighten up some of the when I do eventually tighten up the space, the color is nice and full and not like splotchy with these little white spots. I want the main markings to match, but you know, there's some areas where I think there's a lot of room for creative brushwork. Especially when it comes to fur, because like, you know, fur has so many different colors within it. Let's paint into here. So that eventually when I do go back into this, I'll be able to have an easier time. All right, so we're going to leave this for now. And let's see. Have another painting I can work on. Go with this painting right here. We're going to have some fun now. Using the paint that I have left over. Rather than setting down new paint. And honestly, I'll probably use this. Probably continue to use these colors. Where do I want to go with this? I think I'm just going to do a whole thick layer of blue here. You like this piece, Rose? Or Ross? It's different, huh? It's different. That's what we strive for, right? Something different. I need to use a probably start to clean up some of my brushes now. I'm probably going to use like one more brush for this piece. That's not for the background before I move into this facial detail. So probably time to clean up some of these brushes here. And here we go. Let's use one more brush here. Let's go with this brush. The one thing about doing what I'm about to do with the paint is that you really have to lay the paint down really thick. And once you do that, you kind of have to like commit to finishing the work. Otherwise, if the paint dries and it's got like these weird designs on them. Uh-oh. Okay, so let's clean this brush off, and we're done for today. And for those of you still here, just want to remind you that I'm signing off here in just a moment. Got to put my stuff away. Did a nice brush cleaning. Clean my brush after every, pretty much after every session. And let's call this complete. So those of you that are here still, thank you so much for being here, but we're gonna wrap up for tonight and have a great night.